Good day everyone, I am April J. Banog and today I will discuss about the implementing a curriculum daily in the classroom. So, here's the lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, the student should be able to review the components of a daily plan for teaching, identify intended learning outcomes, and match learning outcomes with appropriate teaching methods. So, I hope we could meet these lesson objectives at the end of the lesson. So, let's start. According to DepEd Order number 70, series of 2012, the teachers of all public elementary and secondary schools will not be required to prepare detailed lesson plans. They may adopt daily lesson logs which contain the needed information and guide from the teacher guide and teacher manual reference material with page number, interventions given to the students, and remarks to indicate how many students have mastered the lesson or are needing remediation. However, teachers with less than 2 years of teaching experience shall be required to prepare daily lesson plans which shall include the following: the objectives or intended learning outcomes, or the ILO, and second is the subject matter, third is the procedure or strategies of teaching, fourth is the assessment of learning outcomes, and fifth or lastly is the assignment or the agreement. So, starting the class right or laying down the curriculum plan. So this means that teacher must begin the class with proper planning. So planning helps teachers organize the lesson so that students can clearly understand the topic and achieve the learning objectives. So here are the main parts of the lesson plan. So first is the objectives or the intended learning outcomes. These are the desired learning outcomes that will be the focus of the lesson. So learning outcomes are based on taxonomy of objectives, which is the cognitive, affective, and the psychomotor. So intended learning outcomes refers to what students should know, feel, or be able to do after the lesson. So here is the Bloom's taxonomy as revised by Anderson on 2001. So here are the categories. First is remembering, second understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Also, there are keywords there that you could use in creating your intended learning outcomes or your objectives. Here are there are levels of knowledge naman. There are levels of knowledge. First is the factual knowledge. It is the ideas or the specific data or information. So when we say factual knowledge, it refers to the basic information or details that the students must remember, such as the facts, the terms, and the definitions. So yun yung factual knowledge. Second is the conceptual knowledge. Conceptual knowledge are words or ideas known by the common name, common features, multiple example which may either be concrete or abstract. Concept are facts that interrelate with each other to function together. So, yung conceptual knowledge, it refers to the understanding relationships between ideas or concepts. So, it allows the students to see how different facts are connected. So, yun yung conceptual knowledge. Next is the procedural knowledge. So, procedural knowledge, it is how things work, step-by-step actions, and method of inquiry. So, when you say naman procedural knowledge, means knowing how to do it something step by step. Kasi procedural nga, so from the word itself, procedural means procedure. There is a procedure. So it is knowing how to do something step by step, such as solving a problem or conducting an experiment. So in that, there should be a step by step process. In a step by step process. Next is the metacognitive knowledge. So when we say naman metacognitive knowledge, it is a knowledge of cognition in general, awareness of knowledge of one's own cognition, and thinking about thinking. So when it is very familiar to us when we say metacognitive, it is a thinking about one's own thinking. So it involves understanding how we learn, evaluating our learning strategies, and improving them. So yun yung sa metacognitive knowledge. Next is learning outcomes should follow the SMART principle, which is yung S is specific, M is measurable, A is attainable, R is relevant, and T is time bounded. So, when we say specific, it means that the objectives should clearly state what the students will learn at the end of the lesson. When we say naman measurable, means it should be possible to evaluate whether students have achieved the objectives. And when we say naman attainable, means that the objectives should be realistic. Kailangan realistic yung objectives mo. Then, R is relevant, which is relevant means it should be connected to the lesson or your learning goals. So, kailangan yung objectives mo, kailangan related siya dun sa lessons na i-represent mo. Kasi hindi naman pwede na yung your lesson is all about water cycle and then your objectives is nandun na siya sa photosynthesis. So, it's not relevant to the lesson na i-discuss mo. Okay, next is the time-bounded. Means it should be achieved within a specific time period. So that should be the learning outcomes that should follow. It should follow the SMART principle to make it clear and effective yung lesson na i-discuss mo. Next is the second part or the second main part of the lesson plan, which is the subject matter. So subject matter comes from a body of knowledge that will be learned through the guidance of the teacher. It is the what in teaching. So subject matters refers to the content of or topic that the teacher will teach. It answers the question, what will the students learn? So yung subject matter kailangan talaga yung teacher alam mo kung ano yung ituturo mo sa students mo. Kasi you are the source of the learning of the students. So kailangan alam mo talaga kung anong ituturo mo sa students mo, hindi yung kahit ano-ano na lang tinuturo mo sa students mo. Kailangan talaga you know the content or the subject matter. Next is the procedure or methods and strategies. So this is the crux of curriculum implementation, or how a teacher will put life to the intended outcomes, and the subject matter to be used depends on this component. So, the procedure or strategies refers to how the teachers delivers the lesson. So, dito na yung papasok yung mga teaching strategies na i-implement mo on how will you going to deliver your lesson para you can gain the attention of your students. So, this is considered the most important part of the lesson plan, because it determines how the teacher will explain the topic and engage students. So dito na papasok yung mga activities. So like for example, yung mga group activities, kung ano yung group activities na i-impose mo for your students to learn and participate in your lesson. So effective strategies help students understand the lesson better and participate actively in the class. So there are still two main parts of the lesson plan, and I believe it will be discussed by Jalea Raya. So I will end my presentation here, and that's all for my report. Thank you so much for listening.